Rebecca, the woman we never see but whose presence haunts every frame of this story. Besides the letter R marking everything she touched, the things she left behind, and people she influenced, her absence is what truly makes her powerful and present. She becomes a symbol, a projection of ideals, fears, and desires, shaped by the memories of those who knew her. Hitchcock achieves a complex psychological portrayal of Rebecca despite her absence as a physical character, yet making her more present than anyone else on screen. But first, who is Rebecca? Everything we know about her is learned through the dialogues and her objects from the Manderley mansion. Rebecca had married Maxime de Winter as a young woman. Throughout the film, we are shown how influential she is to everyone around her, especially Maxime, but not in the way we are initially led to believe.
I suppose she was the most beautiful creature I ever saw.
According to Maxime, Rebecca fooled him into thinking she was kind and virtuous. However, we eventually learn the truth about who she really was to Maxime, and that their marriage was never genuine.
I hated her.
As spectators, we experience the story alongside Miss de Winter, uncovering the truth about Rebecca as she does. Like her and many others, we were initially fooled into believing Rebecca's and Maxime's relationship was something entirely different. In reality, she had affairs, they couldn't stand each other, and when she learned she had cancer, she made Maxime believe she was pregnant with another man's child, so he'd be arrested for murdering her. However, the rest of the people who knew her thought of her in a very different way. Here's where we find her duality. Even in death, her reputation as a lovely and adored woman remains, overshadowing Maxime's new marriage and reducing the second Miss de Winter to an echo of her presence. We can prove this from Miss Danvers' perspective, a very interesting and full of mystery housekeeper who seems to know Rebecca better than her own husband, and pretty much everyone else. She knew her in depth, suggesting more than just fondness, and projects her admiration and pain into the new Miss de Winter, ensuring to haunt her for attempting to replace Rebecca. As Miss de Winter, the named narrator, is nowhere, Rebecca is everywhere you look. Hitchcock manages to create her presence through objects and shadows. We see her in the raincoat, the handwritten cards and accounts, and her lingerie and perfume, suggesting the elegant, expensive, and sensual but delicate woman she was, an independent and confident upper-class wife. She happened to be everything the new Miss de Winter longs for, becoming more of the narrator's own projection of desires rather than what reality could have been. Rebecca is Manderley. Every corner is filled with her memory, as we can see in this scene. The moment Maxime leaves, the girl is left daunted by Rebecca's presence. When she enters the room, we can see her shadow, as well as a bigger one reflected on the wall, probably suggesting the presence of Rebecca. She's in Manderley's rooms, the boathouse, her coats, dresses, and lingerie that Miss Danvers shows the girl with such delicacy and admiration in this sequence.
I fancy I hear her just behind me, like a quick, light step.
At Manderley, the sea becomes a reminder of Rebecca. It embodies her dangerous nature, but also a symbol of her secrets and the mystery behind her death, as everyone believes she drowned in a boat sinking, amplifying the tension between the myth of Rebecca and the reality of who she was. Therefore, the sea symbolizes both her power and her grave. In the end, Manderley is burnt into flames. It serves as a metaphor for the ultimate destruction of Rebecca and her legacy, marking the end of her control over Maxime and Miss de Winter's marriage, and allowing them to rebuild their lives without her endless influence.